getting a little spicy today, running Sunglasses Blastoise here in the Ultra League. So it's been about 6 days since I've played any GO Battle League. I did do a live stream where I did auto rec, so I pretty much left myself in disarray in my MMR. So I figured, why not just try to jump back into things, just going completely hog wild here with Blastoise. And yeah, you can kind of tell with some of these matchups that, especially I guess maybe being behind in the grind and push in general. Not to say there aren't any tough battles or good opponents, there definitely are. Some of these teams are very spicy. But yeah, I get I'm going to bring in Venusaur here on Tapu Fini, just farm down a little bit. And as you can see, there's a Shadow Mewtwo here in the back line, which definitely a little spicy. And I think they switch into Primeape here, and I'm going to farm a little bit of extra energy. I probably could have just taken the Rage Fist, but it also doesn't really matter. I'm in a pretty good position at this point. So I am able to just remove Primeape, and I'm going to shield Mewtwo, and then I should be able to just throw this Frenzy Plant into Mewtwo and remove it entirely. So GG. And yeah, for the most part, one of the reasons why I haven't really been playing much is, one, I've been kind of busy with the holiday season, and two, I don't know if it's just my experience personally, but the game is so stuttery and laggy. And I'm an Android user, just for full disclosure here. It feels like really unplayable. Like, it's like starting to get to a point where I just can't even focus when I'm playing the game. I'm not typically someone that does like, it just like messes up the whole rhythm of the fights, like the way it stutters in and out and speeds up animations. And a lot of times when I'm playing, I actually play more by watching the move animations, and I feel like I can't really nail my move timing based on just relying on that alone. And even with the stuttering, for people out there who count, who also are on Android, maybe it's my phone too. Like, I mean, this is the only thing on my phone that seems to have issues, but yeah. Also, let me just say, being lower down here in the ranks, there's so many different Pokemon that could have variety of movesets, and like, because I am where I'm at Elo wise, or no, I'm not, I guess Elo wise, it's technically hidden Elo at the moment. I feel like it's hard to predict what people are running on their movesets. I mean, Politoed here with Ice Beam's not really particularly the real, variety pick here, but there's so many crazy teams I face in these sets. And yeah, if you're liking the content, and yeah, if you want to get more, definitely consider liking and subscribing. I really appreciate you being here and checking out the channel. So I get a Swampert lead, which is pretty good. I mean, it's like neutral-ish. I mean, as long as I shield the Earthquake, but I do end up getting the bait and kind of like make a really sloppy decision to switch in Venusaur here. I had a really strong suspicion they had a fire type on the team. That's kind of why I wanted to do this, even though it was like really bad timing when I switched out and didn't really catch a move. I mean, Earthquake more than likely is what they were going to throw there on the Blastoise as the second. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, really, I wasn't in a good situation after shielding that Hydro Cannon. So yeah, in this position though, I actually do have a little bit of a better momentum, but now I kind of like am in the zone, like bad place again, because this isn't particularly the best situation for me, but they actually end up shielding on Charizard, which is huge because they're not going to be able to outpace Clefable here to the Swift. And fortunately for me, they end up having Whaleren in the back, and I think I do end up getting an attack drop as well here with Moonblast. Excuse me, I've been like kind of sick this week. That's another reason why I haven't really been playing, is you can probably hear it in my voice. I'm just getting over a lot of congestion. But yeah, earlier this week I was just like not really feeling good at all. I didn't really do much of anything aside, you know, things I had to do. But yeah, I still kind of just like barely clutch this win. It's kind of crazy, actually. I do feel like it's like I want to have fun with the game. Like playing the auto rec stream the other day was a lot of fun. I mean, very challenging type of way to play the game. But when I was doing that, I was getting some of the craziest opponents as well. And someone even came to my stream, or people coming to my stream, wondering how I was facing the opponents I was facing. And I don't know, like honestly, like with the auto rec, you have to delete all your battle parties. And of course you would suspect, like if I'm losing a lot, then I'm going to be facing people around the same win rate, right? But the weird part about it was I was actually like doing good at the beginning of the stream, of the auto rec stream. I was getting like 3-2, 3-2, and which was surprising. But I almost wondered if there was something to do with the fact that I wasn't running an actual battle party, and if that's like how, I don't know. It's like there's so many theories on like how the algorithm works. I mean, the most realistic, you know, reality of it all is that it's just based on win rate. But at the same time, I mean, there is like a theory. Like, look at this. This is such a crazy situation right here with this team. I mean, Metagross here in the back line, and yeah, it's like I was not like a lot of the stuff I see in these battles I really was not expecting. And if I'm being honest, it's not even like worth playing around some of it. But fortunately for me, I do end up, you know, securing the win here in the end. And yeah, this last one of this first set, I do get a pretty bad lead with Venusaur. I guess I could have insta-swapped out. Maybe that would have been a little bit better. But as you'll kind of see as the battle plays out, it might not have really mattered, because say I do instantly switch to Venusaur here, maybe it would have been better, but I end up like kind of trading the shields first and then switching. And yeah, I bet you honestly, if I would have insta-swapped, maybe it could have been a little better for me, because oh no, I can't remember what the last Pokemon is actually. Let me see how this plays out. But I feel like the last Pokemon in the back line, it's like I needed Venusaur for both Pokemon in the back, I think is what I remember. So maybe it wouldn't really mattered, because I mean, I guess technically Blastoise can deal with Mamoswine. And they're gonna bring back, oh, it's yeah, it's Empoleon. So yeah, I kind of needed Venusaur to deal with this too. It honestly, like this whole team, it's kind of interesting. It's like Venusaur is probably my best answer against the whole, like majority of the team, but also the team does a good job at beating Venusaur. So yeah, my Clefable had very little usage in this fight. I mean, granted, it almost feels like it could have been a better safe swap. Even, you know, but that's the thing about playing a blind matchup. Sorry, I'm like so congested right now. I probably sound, you probably hear it. Again, I apologize if it's annoying at all, but I didn't even realize until I started recording this that it might be an issue. It's pretty early here too. I just figured like I'm feeling actually pretty decent right now. Let me do a couple sets and see what's up. But yeah, Spicy. I mean, I guess Golem technically isn't like unusable anymore, but I knew this was going to be a Rock Blast, so I didn't really shield it, and I just go for the farm down. The stutter lag happens a lot when people get charge moves. So I tried refreshing my game data and like turning on my native frame rate. I don't know, it's like, maybe it's harder to tell when you watch these. Like a lot of times I'm like throwing moves off time. It's a lot of times like because I can't like focus at all when I'm playing. And it's like I don't really play with sound, so I'm not like attuned to like relying on the audio, if that's something that people, you know, if it even really works with the stutter and lag. But they have Victini here, which is kind of interesting. Again, spicy. I'm going to be seeing some spice here. I'm not particularly worried though, because I have 2 shields, and with Pangoro being thing in the back line, I still have Venusaur, which can easily finish up shop here with my shield advantage. Plus, like, they'd have to get pretty lucky to even be able to put up a fight against Venusaur in this scenario. So, aka, I lag out at that point. So I get a Scizor lead, and these could run Trailblaze. I mean, being the first attack, I could take it, but I suspected it wasn't because it was so fast. So I just figured it's probably not Trailblaze. It might even just be Night Slash, and that ends up being the case. So I'm just gonna farm down Scizor at this point, and looking pretty good. They end up having Galarian Articuno, and yeah, that's the thing. Like, seeing some of these teams, I'm like, initially, it's like these aren't even like horrible team comps or anything. It's just like sometimes I even wonder if they even have double moves, because you kind of see this person's throwing the ancient power, and then they have Ho-Oh in the back, which again, I don't feel like I ever really see Ho-Oh in the Ultra League. But I like I said, I think I'm like rank 13 in this battle, so I'm a little behind. I think there's people already pushing for veteran right now, so that kind of says a lot about where I'm at in relation to the great race to legend. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even like, even though you'd think these are just like free wins, they don't really feel like it at times. I mean, any real mistake can cost you, and if you underestimate them as well, that can also be a real bad like mistake on my end. And the thing about this is, it doesn't even seem like they have Brave Bird. Like, I don't know if they were just afraid to throw the Brave Bird, but I don't even know if they had it. Because whenever they baited me with the ancient power, I was like, oh, I'm about to get smacked by that Brave Bird. But then I was like, you know, I can actually probably still be okay with Venusaur. But then I just never saw it. Okay, Starmie lead. Definitely pretty cool that Starmie got this buff with Psywave. But I'm just gonna stay in and see like who can fare in this type of matchup. I guess it looks like it might be pretty close depending on what they want to do. So just in case they do end up having a fire type, I decided to switch out and keep energy on Blastoise, and they do end up having the Typhlosion here. So I am going to have to just spam Swift, which honestly can work relatively good here. And it doesn't look like Typhlosion is going to commit any shields, so they end up just getting removed by the Swift here. I guess just seeing like, maybe at this point they didn't really think it mattered. And they end up having Venusaur in the back line too, which is a little problematic for me, which I'm going to try to my best to try to bait the situation here. And yeah, I do get the shield, which is kind of nice. And at this point, I'm going to have to commit my shield against the Venusaur so I don't just go down. And I decided to go for Sludge Bomb in case I decide not to shield. And they do end up making that decision. And I stay in a little bit too long. And this is kind of like another problem, is like, I'm like off all the time now. And like, I'm not just trying to blame lag. I mean, I don't like count really ever when I'm playing. I'm like usually watching something or chilling, doing something entirely different, like multitasking when I'm playing this game at this point. But it's like, for playing for so long, I feel like I've never been able to like you should be able to grasp to a degree visually like how to play the game, but because the visual aspect of it is so inconsistent, I feel like I'm in this self-doubt mode all the time now when I'm playing the game. Like, it's almost like I'm training my brain to doubt myself because the game doesn't like look or feel rhythmically proper. And yeah, it just comes off like more it's hard for me. I feel like this game is so broke right now. Like, it's like always been like this, but I don't know what it is. Like, when I was playing that last match in particular that I somehow barely won with Water Gun on that Venusaur, by the way, I was just like, I would swear I was like saying to myself as I was tapping down, like, I'm never playing this game again. I'm sure we've all been there at this point. It's like, what? I mean, this next battle though, definitely really bad for me. Great alignment for my opponent. Golisopod. Pretty much the entire battle is like great alignment. And then I make like a really weird switch that just kind of seals the deal in the battle. But yeah, for the most part, they had Golisopod lined up on Blastoise. They had Lone Sandslash on Clefable, and then they have Giratina for Venusaur. So not much I can do here. I decided to just kind of like forfeit the match to save myself a little bit of time here. And then I get into this last battle, which this one, you might be able to tell some of the lag. Like, look at that. Like, this guy like starts off like delayed, and then he's running Shadow Claw. There was the Thunder Punch. Like, I can't even tell if that, like, does that even make sense? Like, I mean, it makes sense, like, the amount of energy they had and when they threw that. I'm just like, should they have been able to just, like, destroy me in that matchup if they didn't lag there? But they did do a great job catching this move. So it's like, was I not seeing something? Like, I was wondering also, like, maybe it's like, maybe they were fine. I don't know. It's like weird. Like, it feels like their timing is like impeccably good for how bad that was at the beginning. But, yeah, it's all just coincidental too. And like I said, I'm like at rank 13, so stakes are not that high here. And I'm running, maybe it's the shades I got on with Blastoise, you know, put a little bit of intimidation to the opponent here. But yeah, definitely just gonna commit the shield on Typhlosion. I guess I figured like whatever they have in the back, I'm just gonna assume that I can probably deal with it, hopefully, if they don't have another fire type. Fortunately, it's just Annihilate and get off a Hydro Cannon with Blastoise into Annihilate and just finish up the battle here with a Frenzy Plant. So yeah, if you got to the end of the video, please comment, "Hey Sass, I got to the end of the video" below, because it would really help out my content a lot in the algorithm. And thanks a lot for tuning in. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the Sass Squad's getting stronger each and every day. Have a good morning, evening, afternoon, for tuning in. I'll catch you in the next one. And if you'd like to watch more Go Battle League content from me, consider watching this video right here or this video right here.